Welcome back to the MCP workshop series. We've covered data, AI, and APIs. Each one is a pillar of intelligent systems. But there has been a gap. APIs connect systems, but they weren't designed for the way AI agents work. Today, we close that gap with the fourth and final pillar, MCP, the Model Context Protocol. We'll cover what it is and how it works, and the architecture you need to understand before we start building. So, what is MCP? MCP is an open standard for communication between large language models and external systems, such as tools, APIs, databases, and even other LLMs. It is often referred to as the USB-C of AI. Before USB-C, every device had its own connector. Every new device meant a new cable. MCP does the same thing for AI. Before MCP, each connection between an AI model and a tool was custom built. A developer had to create a different proprietary adapter for each LLM and each tool. MCP creates a standard plug. Any MCP-compatible LLM can instantly connect to any MCP-compatible tool, making AI agents reusable and interoperable. This is how MCP solves the N times M problem we discussed in the API episode. Instead of custom adapters for every combination, MCP uses a one-to-many approach. Build one MCP server per tool. It works with any MCP-compatible client. Build one MCP client per host. It works with any MCP server. You can swap LLMs without rewriting tool integrations. You can add new tools without modifying the AI agent. And you can reuse servers across projects, teams, and organizations. The same MCP server you build for Autodesk APIs today works with Cloud, Copilot, or any future MCP-compatible host. No adapter needed. Now, let's look at the architecture more closely. Every MCP system has two sides. The client lives inside the AI application, an IDE, a chatbot, a desktop agent. It manages connections to MCP servers, forwards tools calls from the LLM, and returns responses. The server is on the tool side. It's a lightweight service that exposes capabilities to AI. It registers tools, resources, and prompts, handles execution, and can run locally via STDIO or remotely over HTTP. The server doesn't need to know which LLM is calling it. The client doesn't need to know how the tool works internally. The protocol handles the translation. This clean separation is what makes MCP system composable. MCP servers expose three different types of components, called primitives. Tools are model controlled. These are functions the LLM can call to perform actions, create issue, get model properties, run clash detection. The LLM decides when and how to use them. Resources are application controlled. These are data the server makes available for context, project files, BIM model, metadata, user preferences, read-only like get endpoints. Prompts are user-controlled. Pre-built templates for common workflows like analyzes this Revit model for code compliance, triggered by the user, not autonomously by the LLM. Tools for actions, resources for context, prompts for workflows. This connects to a fundamental concept, context. LLMs operate in a limited context window. If you send a vague question with no projected data, you get a generic answer. Feed it the right data at the right time, and it becomes a domain expert. MCP manages what goes into that window. Resources inject structured data. Tool results provide real-time information from live systems. Prompts frame the tasks with the right instructions. The difference between a useless AI assistant and a powerful one is almost entirely about context. Finally, security. We're giving AI the ability to interact with real systems, so this matters. MCP introduces structured control at three levels. Input validation. Every tool defines a schema using XOD or JSON schema. Parameters are validated before execution. The LLM cannot call a tool with unexpected arguments. Human in the loop. The host can require user approval before executing sensitive actions. Critical operations go through a confirmation step. Transport security. Local servers use STD-IO with no network exposure. Remote servers use HTTPS plus authentication. MCP supports OAuth 2.1 for secure, scoped access. The principle: MCP doesn't give AI unrestricted access. It gives controlled, validated, auditable access with humans in the loop for high-stake decisions. Let me make this concrete. This is how GitHub Copilot actually works with MCP under the hood. A developer asks Copilot, the latest release broke the login feature, run the test suite, find the failing test, and tell me what's wrong. There are three actors. The host is your IDE, the MCP client, where you type the command. The brain is the remote LLM running in the cloud. The hand is the local MCP server, a service on your machine with approved access to your terminal and file system. Step 1. The host sends your prompt to the brain. Step 2. The brain decides a terminal command is needed. It sends a tool callback to the IDE, run terminal command, with parameters command, npm test. Step 3. The host validates the command, maybe asks for approval, then forwards the call to the local hand. Step 4. The hand runs npm test. The test fails and produces an error log. Step 5. The hand sends that log back to the brain. The brain reads it, identifies the failing test, and generates the answer. The error is in tests/auth.test.js on the user login test. The local hand acts in the real world. The remote brain provides the intelligence. The protocol standardizes everything between them. That's all 4 pillars complete. And we've covered the full MCP architecture. Server-client model, 3 primitives, context management, and security. Next time, we start building. We'll create an MCP server from scratch in Node.js, register our first tools, and connect it to VS Code Copilot. Leave your questions in the comments, and I'll see you for the next one.